Howdy ho YTPC, Easy Embers here in the office. I would be doing this out on the porch because it is a lovely afternoon, but the sun has already set down. It's at that dusk time period, and I've got some notes to read from here. So I'm not going to be able to do that if I'm outdoors. I need a little bit more light. Pardon me for that, but we'll do it here in the office. Thought tonight I would enjoy a little bit of my being here, and I thought too, now I don't know if anybody else watches this or not, but I thoroughly enjoy the Smoking Pipes Mystery Review, the monthly one, the one that I put out each month, and I always try to guess it. You know, I'm not there, I can't taste it, but just by look, and I'm usually on the road, I just listen to the description, like what they're saying to the cut and the smell, and I'm like, I feel like it could be this, and then most of the time it's something that I've never tried, most of the time. But I don't want to spoil it too much, but they were talking about this particular blend a little bit during the show, and I won't spoil it for you, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet or anything like that, but I recognized their description pretty good, because there's only a few blends. I don't know if that's actually going to focus for you. There's only a few blends that have little coins like that, and as soon as they mentioned coins that small, I was like, I know it. So, but it's been a while since I have smoked this particular blend, and you know if you know. I don't want to ruin it for anybody else. I'm going to crumble that up a little bit. I usually stack those, and then I kind of crumble up one or two of them on the top. But let me tell you a little bit before I light this up what I'd like to discuss tonight. There was a comment left in one of my previous videos about which particular tobacconist I like to visit frequently. And I can't say that I visit all of these frequently, but I am going to give you a list in this video of tobacconists that are the closest ones to me, or I should say the closest ones I'm aware of that I frequently visit in my life. And I know, we each of us travel in different places at different times for different reasons, but for me, these are the ones that I end up passing by and traveling around pretty frequently. It's been a long time since I've tried this blend. Room notes are really nice. Really nice. I had not had this particular blend for very long. I bought it. I've got the note on here. I bought this in. It's 1 month away from a year ago. I bought it in July of last year, and already I hadn't really smoked it or opened it any time recently, but it had a little hiss, a little pop to it. 1 year of age, doing good on it. All right, let's get into this. So before I begin, I'll say this, that there is no tobacconist within under an hour to an hour and 15-minute drive from where I live, which is very frustrating, very annoying, not at all what I would like, but my wallet is probably very thankful that I don't live closer. So all of these are based around, where I live, which is in southeastern Kentucky. So maybe this will help you, maybe it won't. I know several of you are from the Kentucky area, or you know what I'm talking about, or you may be near one of these areas that I'm going to discuss. So maybe this will help. Perhaps you're like me, you find yourself driving through some of these areas, and if you're like me, you keep an eye out for some of these available stores. And I'll try to include the name and the state that they're in, or the town or something like that, underneath in the comments, although I don't want to put a whole lot because YouTube tends to be weird about that, or at least they were in the past. I don't know, but the one that is the furthest away for me is in Bloomington, Indiana, and you may have gone to this one, you may not have. But in Bloomington, Indiana, it's like a college town, but it's really nice. It's called the Briar and the Burley. Amazing pipe selection, especially if you're interested in getting your first meerschaum. Phenomenal, I'm telling you, man. At least it was 3 years ago. That's the caveat to this one, is I only make a trip up there to visit the store once every 3 years, and I usually do it on like fall break or something like that, and I have to make a dedicated trip because it's about a 4-hour drive, 4.5-hour drive away from me, and I don't really have any other reason other than I just want to go back and visit. So once every 3 years or so, I go to the Briar and the Burley, and tobacco selection is a little bit on the smaller side, at least from what I remember, but they offer a bunch of other stuff, such as like leather goods and traveling suitcases and things like that. It's a neat place, and I've always enjoyed it each time. Particularly, it will make you hungry for a new pipe, for sure. They've got some really great Briar, really great meerschaums, and that is part of the qualification to make this list. I do stop in at some of the smaller places that are more fit the bill of like a head shop or something like that. Even though I don't partake in any of that, I do stop in because occasionally they do have a tin that I've been looking for. And I like to just see what do you have. But yeah, these are all of these have a pipe dedicated section of either a good supply of tobacco or a good supply of pipes. So Briar and the Burley is the first one. Next, in Ohio, this is a little north, I think it's north, maybe east of Columbus. I think it's on the east side of Columbus, Ohio, is a place called the Warf. W-A-R-F, the Warf. The Warf has an excellent, it's just massive cigar supply. Crazy, crazy amount of cigars. Great cigar lounge. Has some pipes. They do have some pipes, but I really like stopping in there because they have a couple of in-house blends that I think is just dynamite. I mean, really, really good. There's one in particular I get every time I go up there, and I just get like 1 ounce. I'm not a big like massive, and it is aromatic. It's called Santa's Secret. Santa's Secret is killer. It is like the perfect marriage of chocolate and mint, and I don't really love a whole bunch of aromatics, but I do want to keep on hand some sort of a mentholated something or another whenever I'm sick or at like Christmas time, and Santa's Secret is a staple from them. It is really, really good. It's really great. They do have a couple of different tins that they get in. I usually, whenever I go up there, I'm able to find a couple of Galwath and Hogarth blends that I can't buy online. Now, I will say, it being in the city and everything, they can sometimes have a little higher prices than some of the other places, but usually, like the tins that I've gotten, I think, honestly, I can't prove this or anything like that, but I've gotten multiple tins from them, and each of them have evidence of significant age. I'm talking 3+ years, maybe 5+ years on some of them. So I don't mind paying a little higher price. I feel like maybe the owner is putting some of his own personal supply in there. So I don't know, but hey, it's kind of cool. It's a neat place to go, and it's just a really great setup. So that's the Warf. That's in Ohio. I think it's Columbus. The next one is in Covington, Kentucky. Many of you probably know which one I'm talking about here, and that is Strauss Tobacconist. Strauss is pretty cool. I've never been to like their original one that's in the heart of the city. I tried to go one time, and traffic was insane, and I said, forget this. So I went to the Covington one, and they have a small selection of pipes. Occasionally they'll get in some really nice, like new Savinellis, the new ones. Their cigar humidor is really good, great sitting area. They do have quite a few tobacco blends. I do like to stop in there occasionally and pick up a couple. I think I've got do I have Richwood? I don't know. I have a couple of, there's a couple of jars up here. I think I have some of their aromatics that I've got a couple ounces of. Really nice. Strauss Tobacconist, very good, very helpful. And if you have not tried their Sleepy Hollow blend, it's something special. It really is. If you haven't given it a shot, you need to. You know this pipe's not going to stay lit. I'm jawing too much. Anyways, so there's that one. Next one is in Louisville, Kentucky. I only get to go to this one about maybe twice a year, and it's more of a new one for me. It's been there for a good long while, I think, but I don't get to go up to that area much until recently. My job has allowed me to, and that is Kremer's Pipe and Stuff, which I know many of you are well aware of. Kremer's Pipe and Stuff is a delight. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like, it's high up on the list because the selection of pipes is significant. The selection of tobacco is outrageous, and I love a good bin store. I know in some areas you may not have bin stores, but here in Kentucky, bin stores pop up all the time. They've got the Amazon returns and everything like that, and you can end up, if you're lucky, finding something that's, 40, 60, maybe $100, and you're getting it for, $15, or you're getting something that's, $5. Maybe even on a weird day you get some like repair tools or something that nobody knows what it is for $1, and it's pretty cool. I've gotten some weird stuff for nothing. This is one of them. I wanted an incense holder, so no one at the store knew what this was. Sometimes you have to fight your way through them. They'll open their doors all at once. And you have to fight your way through it. But yeah, that was, it's a cheap little incense thing for 50 cents. Like, okay, cool. But that's kind of what it's like going into Kremer's. There is stuff everywhere, and you just kind of have to dig through it. Don't go quick. Take your time. Start in one corner of the room and slowly work your way through everything. And it's really nice. I'm really impressed. I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time with them. And I did pick up a pipe from them just recently. Here you go. Yeah. This is the new one that I got that's dedicated to English. It's my first Morta pipe. So really like it and love it. So they got good stuff. All right. So both of those are in Kentucky. So we're now into Kentucky, and then we'll head south here. The next one is in Western Kentucky. Let's talk about it. Western Kentucky, I find myself driving through here a lot because my brother is a musician, and he lives just outside of Nashville, and so the fastest way for me to get to him is to head west and then go down. So I pass through this area frequently, and it is in Bowling Green, and this is at the town square in Bowling Green, and it's called Bowling Green Pipe and Cigar. It's a smaller place. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, nice little cigar selection. They have more cigars than they have pipes. However, I specifically go in there for the pipe selection because the owner is dedicated. He has been now for 3 years that I've been traveling back and forth and doing it. He is dedicated to getting the new stuff. So whenever I'm traveling and I know that Cornell and Deal has just released something, or there has been a new like Esoterica drop or something like that, if I'm passing through that area, I make a point to visit this guy because he has it. He doesn't always have a lot of it, but he gets it. And so like Firebird Flake, the very first round of Firebird Flake sold out in a matter of hours. Didn't have it, but yet 3 days later I was going to visit my brother. I stopped in and there was 3 tins sitting on the shelf. Okay, so he's a good guy. If you're passing through Western Kentucky, Bowling Green, check it out. Bowling Green Pipe and Cigar. Okay, now we're into Tennessee. Continuing in the West, this is the place that I visit the most, and it is just about 15 minutes away from where my brother lives. It is in Goodlettsville, Tennessee, and it's called the Cigar Club. Cigar Club, I've talked about this place before. It's awesome. It's got a very small little sitting lounge over in the corner, but it has a small selection of pipes that you can find, and the owner has, at least in the past, had a good, strong selection of pipe tobacco. He did recently have a big sale going on because he kept a lot of the Sutliff stuff, and he was, having to clean off the shelves and everything like that. But I'm able to get a lot of the English and Scandinavian tobacco, or stuff that's a little bit harder to get, that he orders, and he usually has it in there. I'm not always able to get like Old Gallery, Black Mallory, some of those different blends, and he's got them. Almost every time he's got Brown Clooney or something like that. So it's a good spot if you're wanting to sample a little bit of those line, that style of the European market. He usually has some Galwith and Hogarth, as well as C&D. He keeps up with a lot of the C&D. Last time I was in there, he had, dear gosh, I'd say he had 4 stacks of the From Beyond. I got the first iteration a while back from him, but he had From Beyond, 4 stacks of the newest one this year. And I get to visit there about six times a year, and he's really nice. If go in there and I pick up something, and I ask him, "Hey man, you mind if I sit in your lounge?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." Sit there and we'll watch hockey, and he usually will give you a cup of coffee if you'll stand there for a while. He's just a really nice guy. Everybody, just about everybody in the community is a nice guy. So that's in Tennessee, and then my final 2, I think, here is also in Tennessee, but they're in a little bit different areas. They're more towards just like in the South. So there is a place that's in between Nashville and Knoxville, and I'm living up in like right here. I can go west, Bowling Green, visit there, go down to Goodlettsville here, and then I can travel back home through Maryville, Knoxville, then come back home. So I've got like this tobacco square that I can work. So in Maryville, the middle south one here, there is a place called no, I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, I'm thinking of the right one here. So there is Smokey's Tobacco and Cigar. No, I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. In Maryville, there is Smoking Joe's Cigar and Pipe Lounge. There we go. Sorry, I misread that. This one is very close to flights. It's very close to an airport. And anytime you're using like the Knoxville airport or something like that, head on south and a little bit west, and you're going to run into Maryville. And it's not far away from an airport. There's another airport. I think it's the McGee-Tyson airport. I don't know. Somebody can go back and check that. Anyways, it's in there. And Smoking Joe's is my newest find. Found it purely by accident. I was about to get on a flight, and I had an hour before it was time, and so I popped in this place. And I was just fascinated because the store itself, it looks like a shotgun place. It's actually connected to a couple different ones. But whenever you walk in, it's just a straight aisle back. And on this side is like the humidor for the cigars. And then this side is one of the best selections in-house of Cornell and Deal and smoking pipes selections I've ever seen. It was phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. I walked in and I was just looking. It was like, I'm talking floor to ceiling, tins galore, bulk. Every bulk C&D they've got massive jars of it sitting over there. And I was able to pick up all of the Pipe Force blends. He had at least 110 of all the Pipe Force. This was a long time after they had already been released. Some of the Birds of a Feather, he had some of those. I think I was able to pick up like 2 of those. And he had just gotten in the Pessy Canoe. and I was able to pick up the Pessy Canoe Oriental Flake, which was really fun. I like that one quite a bit. But that is Smoking Joe's Cigar and Pipe Lounge in Maryville, Tennessee. Well worth a visit if you are in that area, or if you're wanting to pick up any C&D products or just smoking pipes. Like, he's got it, and it's amazing. It's really great for a pipe smoker. And then the final one is in Knoxville, Tennessee, Smokey's Tobacco and Cigars. Now, this one I get to visit like once a year as I'm passing through the area, usually coming back from a flight. I get to go here. It's a nice little lounge. It's mainly cigars, but they do have like a fourth of the building that is dedicated to pipes. And I remember them having probably the most complete collection of Peterson blends that I've found in any place. I think they had literally every single tin. I mean, it wasn't literally, but they had at least multiple tins of every single Peterson blend out there. So if you're wanting to try Peterson, they also had some pipes too, and all the accoutrements. But if you're wanting to try Peterson blend or something like that, well worth a try there, and that's in Knoxville, Smokey's Tobacco and Cigars. Tell me if I've missed one in the comments below. If you live somewhere in the southeastern Kentucky area, if I've missed one, fix me, okay? Listen, I would love to be within 30-minute driving distance of a place that had significant, pipe material. But the nearest one to me that I frequently go to, and it's one that I haven't mentioned on here yet, is Schwab's Pipe and Stuff, and that is an hour and 15 minutes from me, and that's in Lexington, the Lexington area, Lexington, Kentucky. So if you're passing through there, that's my final one that I'll tell you about, and that's the nearest one to me, and I get to go up there occasionally, not as much as I want to, because an hour and a half or hour and 15-minute drive through traffic on certain days can get pretty rough. It's pretty gnarly. But that's the ones I'm aware of. If you're aware of more within the Kentucky area, whether it be east, north, south, west, whatever, let me know in the comments below. And hopefully this can help any of you all that's in the area near and around me, or in some of these areas. Help me find some new places, maybe help you. Maybe this is a little bit of a recommendation for you, and hopefully it can lead you to maybe seeking out and visiting one of these places, because all of them have their own unique kind of merits that make them, at least in my mind, worth a visit whenever I'm in the area. So maybe that'll help you out a little bit. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this blend, and check out the mystery review if you haven't already. See if you can guess it on there. They had a good time. It was pretty fun. But best wishes, and I'll see you on the next one.